Welcome to the UK launch of the all-new Jaguar XF, a car that, just like its smaller brother the XE, aims to take on the Germans at their own game. Aimed very squarely at the likes of the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes-Benz E-Class, the Jaguar XF is all new and uses a lot of aluminium in its architecture. The end result of this is a weight saving of 190 kilos. Now, this specific Jaguar XF is powered by a 2-litre diesel engine with 178 brake horsepower. That's paired to this ZF automatic gearbox that then powers the rear wheels. This specific XF is in R Sport trim, which means it receives some sportier bumpers, some nice alloy wheels and a smattering of R Sport logos. Visually, the Jaguar XF is a handsome car with its long, proud bonnet, glasshouse that's set further back in the chassis and a nice short rear overhang. Proportionally, it really does look very good. Inside the new car, it has done a lot of maturing over its predecessor. Not that its predecessor was bad by any standards, of course, the previous XF being the car that really saved Jaguar, but the interior has a real air of quality and premium design about it. Just like the XE, you've got this cockpit that bows around you. Aesthetically, it's really, really nice. It's quite different and very un-German. This cascading dashboard here features Jaguar's latest touchscreen infotainment display, as well as dual-zone climate control. This car with its very supportive, sporty, slightly bolstered seats actually, they're heated in this model. And of course, who can forget that start-stop button that pulses like a heartbeat the second you get in. In the back, there's more legroom available, and that's despite the car actually being shorter than the previous XF. Legroom's pretty good, headroom's not too bad. If you're an average size adult though, if you're slightly taller, you might find that coupe-esque sloping roofline a little bit restricting. Something else I will say is that rear visibility isn't fantastic. The rear window is quite shallow, so I'd definitely opt for a car with a rear reversing camera.
Boot space is a respectable 540 litres with a nice wide usable opening.
Seating position is actually spot on. You sit nice and low in the chassis. You've got this 3-pronged steering wheel which adds to the whole sporty element of the car. And of course, down here you've got some selectable driving modes, including a dynamic and sort of a snow and slush mode. What's the Jaguar XF like in motion? Well, on your generic motorway journey, where a lot of these cars will spend their time, this 2-litre diesel engine pulls very nicely. It's certainly got enough power and torque to make clean overtaking manoeuvres. And it's quite hushed in general once you get up to speed. Though under load and initially pulling away, this 4-cylinder ingenium engine can be a little bit noisy. Around town, the control weights are nice and light, meaning that the car doesn't feel quite as big as what it actually is, and the automatic gearbox is rather good at plucking appropriate gear ratios. However, due to its sporting nature, it does ride slightly firmer than its rivals. But what you get in return for that is a car that is exceptionally well sorted when it comes to twisty country roads. Point its nose at an apex and it will dive in with absolute precision and no hesitation at all. Click over to dynamic mode and the steering gains a bit of weight and the throttle response increases. Body control is very, very good as the car corners nice and flat. The torque from that diesel engine being perfect to slingshot you out of those corners. Whenever you decide to take manual control of the gear changes via these paddles on the steering wheel, the changes are exceptionally quick. Whilst being great fun, the Jaguar XF is claimed to return 65.7 mpg, meaning that you can have your cake and eat it. Other trinkets on this car include DAB radio and Bluetooth, as well as a rather nifty heads-up display on the windscreen.
You can have the entry-level model from £32,300.
Dynamically, it is second to none in its class, and its unique style in here and handsome looks, you know, it certainly ticks the boxes for those looking for an executive car. All in all, the Jaguar XF is a refreshing change from its German rivals, but just like the XE, it earns its place on your driveway not just because it's different, but because it genuinely is a great car.